I'm gonna try to get the back entirely done, just to get the entire shell of well, the shape of the entire building finalized. Been looking around Reddit, and aside from the bug where stuff starts getting misaligned, people are running into a build limit. The fact that a Lego game has a build limit is ludicrous, but here we are. So I might kind of cut the build a little smaller than I initially planned. Like, there were supposed to be like wings at the back, extending to maybe around here or so, but I might just cut it to here. Save on build pieces. I'm not sure if I'm going to hit that limit, but I'd rather play it safe at this point, and I'm really just CBA after the issue where stuff that I built gets misaligned. Really, I'm not sure how it triggers. What I'm going to do is fill this in. Fill this in and then dismantle and rebuild the entire wall, the roof, and here, and see if it still keeps happening. Because if it does, then the cause is even more arcane than I thought it was. Because I actually have no idea what triggers it. Like, this entire side seems to be fine. I left it open for a few hours and checked after, and this side was fine. It's just the other side, and I don't understand why. Because technically, if anything is connected to the ground, which entire building is, there's literally no reason for it to move at all. If it's not being impacted by anything else, there is no calculation for physics whatsoever because it's connected to the ground. So the fact that the game is still allowing pieces to move kind of suggests that some algorithm somewhere is just screwed up. And probably indirectly affecting performance as well, because it's calculating physics on the whole thing, where programmatically none of this is supposed to ever move. Like, if it's not being impacted by anything, then that seems to be like a waste of CPU cycles. Anyway, time to get moving. There's gonna be a door here. Gosh, I went to the other side to check what the door dimensions were. Seems to be a 12 across. A little piece of wood here. Did I actually have the wood? Yes, I did. So 12 door across. Seems like this wall is less for some reason. How is that possible? I screw up alignments horribly. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 is not 4. But this is 8. Okay, I definitely misaligned it somehow. Uh-oh. This is a 12. This is an 8. Maybe that's why. Just as well that I'm rebuilding it. Let's see if it still misaligns after this. This is a 12. Right. This is the right one. I'm not sure if it makes a difference if I snap it to a wall or I build it directly on the floor, but just for the sake of experimentation, I'm going to build it against the floor. Just to see if it helps with that misalignment stuff. Like, if it disconnects to the floor and that connects to that, and then all the other pieces connect directly to the floor. See if that changes anything. I don't see why it would, but at this point I'm out of ideas on how to solve that problem. high. Alright, and I'm gonna dismantle this and rebuild it, just to be sure. Rebuilding, touching the floor, see if it changes any of this. Touch floor. Floor rolled. Yeah, see, it's misaligned again. Wow. No, it's okay. Just rebuild this wall and these 3 windows and see if it still happens. Get rid of this entire thing and rebuild it. I actually wonder if it's because it's trying to snap to this thing and these things are just inherently not on the grid to begin with. That might explain a lot as well. But that doesn't explain why the other side is fine and this one isn't. For whatever it's worth. It's actually infuriating as hell. Absolutely, absolutely infuriating as hell. Like, there's no guarantee that anything you build is going to function or behave down the line. Played some of the absolute shittiest building games and they've never had this problem. It's specific to LEGO Fortnite. I mean, I don't doubt it would get fixed. Famous last words. But the fact that it's happening at all in the first place is just so bizarre for a game that is like based on two different IPs, Fortnite and LEGO, which are all about building. So I just don't understand how this is happening. Let's just rebuild this whole thing. Screw it. If any of these pieces are bugged, for whatever reason, it's just rebuilding the whole thing. Might solve the issue, who knows. Age-old addendum for getting things to work. Have you turned it off and back on? That's what I'm gonna do right now. Dismantle and rebuild. Works for satisfactory. Pipe's not working, just rebuild. It's fine. Wow. Nobody can understand why, but this is just how it works sometimes. Just to be safe, this goes as well. again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? No, it's 8. I'm blind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got it. This is out of curiosity, and they're going to use different build piece sizes as well. 4 and 6 instead of 2 and 8. If that changes anything, it kind of doesn't help in narrowing down the problem, but I don't really want to solve the problem right now. I just don't want it to happen. I mean, I don't want to discover what's causing it. I'd rather just prevent it than waste brain cells trying to figure out the inner workings of this engine. Alright, 2 layers of flat pieces. Let's use the longest ones possible. Ah. 8666 corner. Alright, I'm curious to see if it still happens. If it does, surrender. The game has just won. I don't know if I'm being paranoid, but I kind of can see a tiny gap already. I don't know whether it's always like that. Whatever, man. Really, just whatever. Alright, I wanted to move this out here just to make it slightly bigger. I'm not going to do the full wing like I thought I would be, like 2 rare wings. That's just not happening with a build limit. What I might do is complete the smaller one first, make a video of that, say this is version 1, and then once the video is ready, and I kind of have jot down everything that I need to do to recreate this in survival, then I'll extend it, just break and extend, and see how far I can get away before the game starts complaining that it's too complicated. Ow. Nope. Are these the same shade as the... Oh, they actually might be. Holy shit, I might... I got a compulsion to kind of like... Let's just put one and see how it looks. Oh damn it, my compulsion is winning out. Let's decorate this thing with a little bit of... Only on this side, not on the kitchen side, because it kind of looks gross for the kitchen side. Oh, there's no... shit. It's not gonna fit in here, is it? Oh, it might. Yeah. Let's stick this one in here. Oh, this interior. Oh, there is one. Okay. Just in case I need it. Shit. Okay. No, it's a little bit too much. Find the side with the least. Oh, they're all like that. Okay. Let's go with this one then. This is honestly still too much. Just have two pillars, have them, and it's good. Ah, shit. Wrecking my house. Okay, back to the regular one. Quote unquote regular. There we go. It's kind of hilarious having that inside as well. This is not. Just on the outside is good enough. The other side, so it looks different from this one. Alright, there we go. We gotta figure out how far this thing goes, right? Guess we can do that now, since we're here. Is this line yet? It's interesting in terms of psychology. When I'm trying to look for problems, part of me wishes that the problem manifests sooner rather than later, so that I realize, oh, okay, that solves that answers the question of whether it's still happening, rather than it's not happening now, but it might in future. It's just a kind of a self-destructive. Wait, oh, I see what happened. This is the wrong type of door. Well, regular 12. Okay, this one. Give me that. This is a storage room. Might as well get the flooring done. Oh, speaking of flooring, I just realized that this thing has to go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 5 and 5. Okay, that's right. Just because, like, that's the boundary of the room. So it's gonna put the regular one in. It's subtle, but it helps. So it kind of differentiates that this is one room, and this is one room. All of the stuff we can do here as well. Break this out. Rotate it the other way, so it looks less tiled. And do the same here as well. Break this. Ah, shit. Break this. Break this. God damn it. It's fine, we'll redo it. Just face it the other way. Adjacent. Ah, shit. Just make it look like it tiles less. There's another problem here as well, so let's just turn the center one around. Oh no, this is the wrong size. Yeah, let's see, if it's this one, these two knobs, it kind of like makes a row, and we don't want that. So this kind of breaks it up a little. Is it misaligned? Still seems okay. I'm so paranoid. This one seems like it's drifting, but I can't tell. This definitely drifted. For whatever reason, why is this stuff drifting as well? Makes absolutely zero sense. Yeah, it's very, very... Oh, the drifting is really, really bad. Why does it happen? I don't understand. Let me just like reload here. Like, see, there's a very definite gap in between these two here. And it's affecting the stuff up there as well. I don't understand. It's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look like this. But for whatever reason, like there's a gap. Let's see what this one. Okay, instead of relogging, I'm just going to rebuild it. See if it fixes it. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Ah, shit, not that one. Also wondering if it's because there is no connection to the ground. If that's If that's an issue, I'm going to be laughing like hell because, wow. Actually, the foundations are off. Holy shit! Jeez. Okay. The more I think about it, the more I think it might be because it's not connected to the ground except throw over there. So it's just. Jeez. All these are off. Alright, so this one's connected to the ground. I don't know if this is going to fix anything, but it's worth a shot. It really is worth a shot. I'm totally out of ideas. Just gonna rebuild this whole row just to be safe. Jesus. And the whole row is gonna be rebuilt with the big ones. Which means you gotta get frisky with this. Can't believe I'm doing this shit. Okay, we know this is touching the ground and on the right grid. Or at least we presume it is. What other objects in the way? Come on. Okay, this looks right. One more. One more. It's the absolute worst way to build things. One more. One more. And this is the last one. Alright, so we know that this is connected to the ground. I don't know if it's going to change anything, but I'm really just grasping at straws here. It's kind of sad that stuff like this is happening. It's just detracting from the overall enjoyment of this game. Why can't I build? I swear this game is trying my patience every single juncture. Why can I not build this shit? What? It's hard to tell which pieces are affected. I need a lamp. Give me a torch. Game is really trying my patience. I'm actually like contemplating just not finishing this build. This thing seems shifted as well. Like, yeah, you can definitely see like it's clipping through the knobs here where it should be on top of it. So this has to go. I'm assuming these have to go. This one has to go, this one has to go. I think that's the extent of the affected pieces. The rest seem okay. Jeez. Just rebuild it, see what happens. I literally cannot believe a game that's supposed to be about building has problems like this. Literally with the building system. Like, it's not like an unknown brand, it's literally freaking LEGO. I'm really losing my patience with this game. Not even kidding, like if this build wasn't more than half done as it is right now, I would have just not continued. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it at this point of time. There's just so many problems in the game. Yep, this is misaligned as well. It gets rebuilt. Freaking hell. Should just rebuild all this as well. Be a temporary wall here. I know it's really petty of me, and community management, social media has very little to do with development of the game, bug fixing, whatever, but it's actually incredibly frustrating to see the social media posting like the memes that it is, where there just so many problems with the game and people like complaining about the durability and all that, and they just... It feels like it's being ignored. That's what's happening. And I understand that that's obviously not the case. It's just optics, and social media has to do a social media job regardless of whether the game is having issues or not. But it just comes off as kind of tone deaf. Anyway, let's has nothing to do with me. I just want to finish this build. Okay, so I built it off the ground, and all this kind of is technically touching the ground. See the misalignment still happen. I very rarely lose my patience while streaming games. It's not like I have an audience or whatever, it's but for posterity's sake, like it's just not a good look. But like I said, this game has really been trying my patience. At this point, it's not like I really even want to finish this build, it's just that I've gotten so far, it would be a kind of a waste of time to not finish it. Or at least get to the point where the game tells me, oh sorry, you've run out of buildables and it's high complexity, you can't build anymore, whatever. At least there's closure there. Would be the worst way to end things, but at least it ends. Kind of on my own terms. Is it already misaligned? Literally barely put it down as misaligned. How? I'm just gonna relog and see if it fixes stuff. Let's see. I'm just gonna check if anything else is misaligned right now. This thing's misaligned. Rebuild. Whatever. Let's just rebuild it, see if it fixes it. I don't think this qualifies as a building game. This qualifies as exercise in patience. Yeah, it's god damn. Let's just reload the game. So demotivated to finish his build. Yeah, it's still misaligned. At least the fact that it's misaligned when logging in is... I don't know whether to call it progress, but... It does make things a little bit more, I guess the term for it is predictable. Okay, we're just going to leave this here. It's going to be like this. The other stuff, again, because these were built from the ground, just to be safe, I am going to have this thing rebuilt on foundation that's connected to the ground. Yeah, this seems misaligned to begin with. A friend of mine said it's probably floating point, and honestly at this point I'm inclined to agree that it's a floating point issue. Severely disappointing. Like the game wants you to build on a grid, but it can't even follow its own grid. It's such a strict square grid. So snapping it like that seam disappears. But it can't even adhere to its own grid. That's the funny part. It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad. Anyway, enough ranting. Let's just do what we know is safe, at least. What I presume is safe, which is build these foundations off this like that, so it's touching the floor. Alright, it's touching the floor. So we're gonna build this shit from scratch on this foundation which we know is touching the floor and see if that helps. Right, so my mind space is, this one is built onto the foundation on the ground. Whatever happens here, I don't really care as long as it's not going to prevent me from building anything else. But so continuing the build from here, which is connected to the ground, should, emphasis on should, be okay. Might be my best interest to kind of ground this as well. So my suspicion now is that it is indeed something related to floating point, because these were the first things that were built, and these foundations were kind of like snaked across. So, and I snap, 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 snap all this way. So by the time it got here, it might have floating points. Drift might have caused this to just not be on the grid that the game thinks it should be on already, so all these start exhibiting such weird behavior. Okay, this entire thing is screwed now. Yeah, I'm just gonna accept that this is part of the game. Jesus Christ. We're gonna dismantle this whole row. Again, I don't know if this is even helping, but I can't think of any other explanation, and must have just go with a hypothesis that at least makes logical sense. So what we're going to do is build a foundation here, which is starting off the ground from here. Oh my god. So my thought process is, this is connected to the ground. Anything I built here should adhere to the grid because I placed it directly on the ground. At least in terms of floating point generation, this it's rambling. I'm just gonna build it. Here's a better explanation. Might even not be effective, but at this point I'm willing to try anything to salvage the build. gonna go on a limb and say this is the most frustrated I've ever been playing any kind of building game. Even as janky as Dawnlands is, it did not ruffle my feathers this much. It's funny that the main motivator for trying to finish this build right now, I can simply say it's spite. I want to say I did this in spite of the game rather than because of it. The saddest part is this is such a niche issue that I expect it to never get fixed for a while because there's just so many more pressing issues in the game. Like survival mode and stuff like that. It is what it is, but still disappointing. Alright, so you can guarantee all of this is on the ground. And if the hypothesis about generational shift with floating point is correct, all this is based around here, so it radiates out from here. Should be much less shift here. And my hypothesis is based on the fact that this side of the build is okay. It's this side which is manifesting. Holy shit, it's so far off. Manifesting problems like this. Everything seems to be coming apart. Like, holy cow. So, rebuilding did not fix the issue. If anything, it made it worse. Jesus Christ. It's all the way up here. I wonder if reloading fixes this one. Unbelievably disappointing. Seriously. So reloading fixes, kind of, but it doesn't fix this one for some reason. Yeah, there's still a very visible seam here. I don't know. All that being said, if this one doesn't drift, then at least I know that the generational hypothesis is, at least has some weight. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell too hard on it because I'm just not going to get anywhere. I should just continue building. I feel like these aren't aligned for some reason. I'm not keen on finding out why. I got a bad feeling about this. I got a really, really bad feeling about this. Okay, miraculously I didn't screw up the maths here. It's already drifting, wow. And this was the one that I was sure it was on the foundation. So, there's no salvaging this game. I'm just gonna wait for them to fix it. I don't think it's gonna be fixed anytime soon because there's so many other more pressing issues. This game is a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's the most frustrated I've ever been, like, playing any. I don't even know how to express my disappointment, and that was obviously misaligned for whatever reason, man. Why is it drifting like that? Wow. I can't bring myself to care. What we're going to do though is make sure that we can actually put floor in here. I actually have my doubts. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 6 across. I swear, if I can't put floor here, and it says object is in the way, I'm abandoning this build. It's not worth it. It's not worth my sanity. Wow, look at that. How does this happen? It's so far off. Jeez, here as well. This door is misaligned. Didn't even check properly. I can't deal with this. I really can't deal with this. Going absolutely insane. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I am going to measure all the dimensions. I'm just gonna build out a rough idea of the back side of this so that I have the idea of the dimensions. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jot down all the dimensions so that I know how to rebuild this, build a fresh sandbox world, calculate the foundation space, and then have the foundation literally come up from each of the four corners like separately, and then from the middle separately as well. Finish the entire foundation first and then build this entire thing from the ground up. Like build the first floor first, then build the second floor, and then build the middle wing. Like, this is just not tenable. Like, having all these just completely misaligned like that, and anything I built on top of this is also similarly misaligned. I think that's what's like causing this drift issue. And then when the game can't figure out what it's supposed to be connected to, it just drifts even more when you're not looking at it. It's just impossible to build like this, because whenever you try to build next to these things, it gives you another objects in the way, and obviously nothing is in the way. Like the entire game, it's theoretically supposed to be on a very strict square grid, so this should not be happening at all. It really just should not. So anyway, you know, like I said, my plan now is to just figure out the back of this, and then redo the build from scratch. At this point, it really is out of spite. I want to finish this build despite the game. That's all there is to it. It's highly, highly, highly disappointing. It's straight up depressing. This is the most depressing building game I'm forcing myself to play. Literally forcing myself to finish at this point. I'm not having fun. Not at all. It's kind of an obligation to myself. I already sank so much time into this game. I just want to see it to the end. Even Dawnlands is a better game than this. Holy shit! I can't believe that. But that's how it is right now. Jeez, I never thought I'd say like Dawnlands is better than a LEGO branded building game. Holy shit. Okay, anyway, rough blockout time. Fuck, man, seriously, cursing on stream is just bad form for me, but I'm just beyond frustrated. Really, I'm just absolutely beyond frustrated. Really have better things to do with my time. I just straight up doggedly wanting to finish this build anyway. It just defies all common sense, really. It's even visible from here. I need to screenshot this. We can't even have this because there is no 6 roof. There's only a 4 roof and an 8 roof, so there is no way to put the end piece, which means fuck this game, man. Alright, this is a way to have it symmetrical. Of course, this is in the wrong spot. Ha ha ha. I'm so tired. Really, I'm so tired. There we go. It's actually correct. It was just starting from the wrong point. Miracles do happen. What? What the hell was that? Oh, come on. More frustration. How did that shit disappear? Makes no sense. Unless I didn't build it and I'm just high. Yeah, I don't think I built it actually. Okay. was talking to myself for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. So I was actually I don't know whether the mic was on, but just to kind of wrap up this video, I've been kind of silent, like mapping out the rest of the shape of this. The issue of this run is I started the build of these foundations over here, and then I built a bunch of floating foundation all the way, these originally floating, so it zigzagged all the way. And my hypothesis right now is there is floating point drift with the building system, which itself wants to be on a very strict square grid. Like everything you build has to be following the same square grid, but because I built it this way, there were dozens and dozens of generations of this floating point drift, to the point where when I was building stuff on this side, the left side of the house, things just started getting misaligned, like here, and it got worse and worse to the point where I couldn't place stuff which would have been legal anyway. So this build is really hard to continue at this point. Holy shit, look at that. So it really is a point where I can't really finish the build without like loading over and over, and I don't want to have to do that. So my solution is to go offline, measure everything like in great detail, how many blocks here, how many blocks there, and so on and so forth. Sorry, just interrupt myself to test something. And then create a new sandbox world, do the foundations from like 9 different points, all connected to the ground, like all of the prime foundation, or the prime grid that the game wants me to snap it to. Build foundation out from there, don't connect them yet, start building the house, and then connect the foundation after that. So basically like all the parts will have less generational drift, and hopefully that resolves the problem. I don't know if it will. This is the best hypothesis I have. It might be that what I'm thinking of just will not help the situation at all, at which point I would just write this game off as a lost cause until they fix this problem, because like I said, it's really impossible to finish builds when things start drifting like that, and stuff that you want to place down just starts giving you like objectives in the way and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm gonna start a new run, do the foundations first, do all this of those foundations, and see if that helps. At this point I'm curious, number one, curious to see if my hypothesis is correct and if that problem can avoid it. And number two, I'm actually happy with the build. I'm not happy with the game, but I just want to finish this in spite of the game rather than because of it. I'm not sure if this will ever get fixed. Like the game has much more glaring issues than this micro alignment for stuff that maybe like 0.02% of the entire player base will ever build. But if they fix it, good. If they don't, then at least I would have finished this thing and had something to show for it. So just to reiterate again, this right side of the house is getting a lot of misalignment issues. You can see stuff here, just like holes in the walls, significant to the point where building next to them just does not allow you to build. And it's only on this side, it's not this side, and this side was much closer to the prime foundations that I built here, which was like the start of the build. So that's my hypothesis right now. Anyway, I've talked long enough, so like I said, I'm going offline to make a bunch of measurements. We'll see how it goes. I am so frustrated. I want to end this video by saying this as the most frustrated I've ever been in any building game ever, including Dawnlands. Like Dawnlands is janky, but at least the building functions as it should. Like I have problems with clipping and all that, but you can kinda make it work. This one, having a build like this, which I spent at least 10 hours on at this point, just not be able to continue because of a bug, is just so demoralizing. I can't even recommend this game to other people who want to build stuff. Like it's that bad. It's just like a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. Well, if any LEGO Fortnite people ever read this, like I'm cheering for you guys, but this really needs to be fixed. It's like game uninstalling frustrating. That's how bad it is. But enough negativity. I'm gonna do what I said I would. So we'll see. Mark II of this mansion, probably built in much less time as well. I'd say I could get this entire thing up in like 4 hours straight up. So it's not all lost. A lot of it was just trying to figure out design things, which all of them are more or less solved now. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling. That's it for now. Does not feel good to be ending the stream like this, but it is what it is.